about to be so embarrassing.
Finny, I get plenty. Wake up right next to the semi. Low so loaded than the done. Rappers to the nine. Throw where you from.
Alright, what's up, guys? I'm Alex. Oh man, I want to talk with my hands. Alright, what's up, guys? I'm Alex, and this is my new E39 540i. It's the V8, and it's a 6-speed manual. I don't want to wear these slides. Got my shoes on. Alright, what's up, guys? This is my E39 540i. It's the 6-speed V8, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So, the development for these cars, these E39 generation, it began in 1989, and I believe development for the design of the body itself took 3 years. So in 1992, they actually selected Joji Nagashima's design, which sounds like an extremely German name. So he designed this car. The development ended in 1995, and that's when production began, but these actually didn't get produced in the US until 1997, which is what year this car is. So this is a 1997. So the difference between this car and the September of 1998 cars ahead of it was that this car came with the M62 B44 without the technical update. And 1998 September and up actually came with the M62 TU B44, which came with the single Vanos. So that's the only thing that's different about this motor than the 1998 and up motors. Alright, so the M62 with the single Vanos actually did make a little bit more torque. So the M62 TU models come with 282 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque. But the non-technical update models, so the M62 B44 from 1997 only made 282 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque. So like I said before, this is the 1997 E39 540i. This is the option 6-speed manual. It's a Getrag 420G 6-speed, and that comes with the 281 ratio rear differential. It is an open diff, so it will do one-wheel peels, but you can get an LSD option. I was probably looking into those, and you can get a 373 gear, which is a lot better for off the line and stuff like that. This will probably be a great highway gear, so 6th gear will probably be really low in the RPM on the highway, but I mean, first gear will probably go to 50 miles an hour, which isn't really what you want for a manual car. But so this E39 generation was actually the first 5 Series to have mostly all aluminum parts as all the major suspension components. So what that means is that even though this body was a little bit heavier than the E34, which was the last generation, since the suspension was so much lighter, it actually offset the weight. So they were able to keep it at 3,800 pounds, even though this is a pretty substantially big car. Like, I'm 6'7", and I could sit comfortably in the passenger seat and then still fit in the back seat. In case you don't believe me, I'll do it right now. So if I'm sitting in the front seat and I have normal amounts of leg room, so my legs are good. My knees are actually not touching. I know the door is kind of there, but my knees are not touching. In my head, I got good headroom. And if I move to the back, I can still fit in here, no problem. Like, no problem with my knees, like, oh. So I want to get a better angle for you guys. So if you see, I'm 6'7", so if I'm sitting here, my knees are not touching, I have decent headroom and I can sit back comfortably. And then actually if I get out and I move to the back, I don't have to get in all weird, I can get in totally normal. My knees fit, still I'm not against the seat, my head's not touching the roof. Like, this has got a ton of room and it's only 3,800 pounds. Like, I would assume a car like this to be around 4,000 or more, but you know. So these E39s were offered in either the sedan like this one or in the estate or wagon. So these E39s were offered in 2 variants. So they either had the wagon or the estate model, or they had the sedan, which is like this one. And both of these are actually one of the first vehicles to introduce the side curtain airbags. So the airbags that would actually go along the A pillar and up to the top of the B pillar to protect your head from hitting against the window. These were actually, this car and the 7 Series were actually one of the first cars to offer that as standard. So the E34, which was the last generation of this car, all of those models used recirculating ball steering. But actually for the E39, for the 4-cylinder, for the 6-cylinder models, they actually used rack and pinion steering. this is the V8 model. So this one still does use their circulating ball steering. So in the 7 years of the United States production run for the E39, there were some updates, but there weren't really too many. So in 1998, they actually switched out the halogen headlights for the xenon headlights. These are aftermarket, so these are not factory. And they did change the stability control system. In 1997, it was called the automatic stability control system, and in 98, they switched it to the dynamic stability control system, which is just one word. It's the same thing. It just says DSC instead of ASC. And the only other update, besides the facelift in 2000, where they made the car look a little different, so they just got a bunch of little cosmetic changes. But in 2003, they actually released the M Sport version of these E39s, which there are only 1,190 M Sports produced in 2003, and that was the only year that they released the M Sport in the United States. So. And honestly, the last thing I thought that was really interesting about this E39 generation was that it was actually Car and Driver's in the top 10 best car pick for 6 years in a row. So from 1998 until 2004, when this was produced in the United States, it was on Car and Driver's top 10 list all 6 of those years. Other than that, that's pretty much all the cool facts I could find out about this car. There's going to be a ton of extra episodes in the series, so if there's anything else I find out that I think is cool that you guys should know, I'll of course put in those videos. In the next couple episodes, we're going to be doing a detail on the outside and on the inside. We actually did it already, but I wanted to film this episode with the car looking clean. It's going to need some hood work, probably just going to have it repainted. It shouldn't be too expensive. These headlights are cheap because they're just aftermarket depot headlights, so I could probably get those for like $200. So the only thing that sucks is that the projector is out on this side, so I'm going to have to replace that. I don't really have a choice because I need 2 headlights. So. But honestly, thanks for watching, guys. This is my first video really talking in front of the camera with it on a tripod, so I'm sure I sound super awkward. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.